Siniti poto sekete poto ashlambo, God says unto you that there are many things that have been told that have not been understood. And God told the whole world that man went the wrong way. And in the wrong way, he could never have found a way to become great in the world. In all the world, man departed from the sacred and divine order of God, and men followed the orders of men. And every way that man followed the orders of men, he found himself always confronted with the difficulties that he experienced. The children of God kept not faith with your God, nor did they place their trust in your God. For they to abandon the sacred and divine order of God, and they followed the orders of men. And wherever the children of God follow the orders of men, they were never able to overcome that which was always given in the pain and suffering to them. They know not why they fail, why they falter, nor do they know how it is that they are unable to rise above the evil orders of men. For the children continued over and over again to follow the ways of men. To have faith in your God is also to have faith in yourself. And when the children of God would have found the faith of God within themselves, they would know that they would be guided in the ways in which they would be able to overcome the evils of the orders of men. And they would also come to recognize that it lies within them the power to be able to make all things possible. And so we say to you that in teaching and preaching, the children of God must come to the true knowledge that their success lies not with the orders of men, but by following the divine order of God which is within them. Everything that is of this world, in this world, was shown to man came from within him. And it was given freely to him that he may be able to manifest it freely. And so you must say to our children, in all the ways that you have spoken to them, turn away from the ways of men, from the orders of men. Turn away. Follow the divine order of God that is within you. And when you follow the divine order of God within you, it will guide you in the way in which you will be able to overcome all the hurdles and obstacles that are placed before you. For the children went everywhere like lost sheep, following this one and following that one and looking for this and looking for that without recognizing that in all the ways they are doing these things and were doing these things, they have never been able to overcome the evil orders of men in a world that is full of evildoers. These things you let them know. For whenever they would turn away from the ways of men and turn towards their inner God and their outer God, they would come to recognize that there is no power on earth that would have been able to tell them what to do or to forestall what they were doing, nor to prevent them from achieving what it is that God within them give it to be made possible. God says all over the world, the children of God, they want to be different, but they're following the wayward ways of an evil generation. And you can never, ever succeed in evil except you have within you the power to overcome evil. And every institution of man on earth is an evil institution. For your God did not give any man to rule in God's house, because this whole world is God's house. Every country is a room in God's house. And God did not give any man to rule in any part of God's house. And when the children of God were given superintendence over God's house, it is because God knew that they knew and understood that the whole world is God's house. And as children of God, they had a responsibility to ensure that every room in God's house was kept in the divine order of God. And so you say unto our children, why are you subscribing to all this nonsense? Because none of what man is doing is ever what God had given man to do. And in every way that you have said to them, we have given the civilization unto earth. How would you have given the civilization to all of earth if you had given it with the precept that it is yours to have and not anyone's to share? And so the children of God must find a way to do as you tell them to do. Turn away from all these ways. Abandon all these stupid things that you see man is doing and telling you that you can do this, you can do that. No man created you, and no man has the power to tell you what to do. No man should have the right to tell you how to be in your father's and your mother's house. And the children of God did not recognize what was being told to them. Again, say unto them, this whole of earth is the house of your mother and father God. And everywhere man dwells as a land in which he dwells, it is a room in the house of your mother and your father God. And so whenever man tells you he has built this temple, he has built this building, he's built this as the house of God, you must know why God tells every one of you, you all in hearing nothing. You all in hearing nothing. Who can build a house, a tabernacle, a temple, or a church to God? Who can? If God is the giver of all things, who can give God anything? And so the children of God must know that in all the ways that God told them, in the end, the truth will be revealed. I tell them, it will be revealed from you in the very way in which you had revealed to the whole of earth tribes when you came here, that you had the power to reconstitute the valley of death into a paradise. You know, when God told them, nothing ventured, nothing is gained. Your God means, look, venture out. Turn away from this way. Go forth with faith and with the trust in your mother God and your father God. And God will show you the way. God will show you the way. The very God that brings hurricanes and tidal waves and earthquakes and fires and all manner of calamities to destroy is the same God that can give you the power to overcome. And God says, everywhere the children are following the ways of men. Well, they say we must do this and they say we must do that. They say we can only get this if we do that. Who is greater than God? Who is greater than God? And if God says to you, go you forth and do these things in the way in which we give it to you, who can be against you? And so the children of God must come to the realization why God told them and everyone else in this world, God is the giver of all things. God is the giver of all things. God gives you life that enables you to do the things that you do and are able to do. God takes that life from you that you can become nothing. So how is any man, any institution, any order of man be greater than that of God? God says, look, our son, keep telling these children of ours, if you want to be free, then you have to release the things you're holding on to, the things that you are following that are detrimental to you. They are your crosses. And why go you looking for other crosses to bear? For God did not give you a spirit of fear, but a spirit of might and power. And if you believe that you have a spirit of might and power, then follow what you're told to do. God says, we know that in all the many things we have shown you, the many movements, groups, organizations that the children of God follow, that they always end up with nothing. They always end up achieving nothing because they didn't follow what we told them. These are not the ways of your God. None of these orders of man are any of the orders of God. Turn away from them. Turn away. It is the only way in which you will be able to access the tree of knowledge within you that initially instructed you as to how to reconstruct a barren valley and to turn it into a garden of Eden. It was not by following any orders of men. It was by obeying that which was already within you, which is the divine order of God. It is the same way God shows every one of you that everything within you works independent of you because it is conforming to the divine order of God. Every organ, every cell, everything within you works exactly in the same order as it does in everyone else and every other creation, because that is the divine order of God. And you don't even have to bother about it. It works. It works. And everywhere it works, it has seen you safely through this far. It does not conform to any order of man. And that is what God is showing every one of you. No man wants it to conform to his order. So he's trying to do anything and everything to try to change the divine order of God that is within you. When will you ever learn? When would you ever learn? God says, our son, you teach and preach and teach and preach. They'll hear and don't hear. They see and yet do not see. God has come to put an end to the evil orders of man and earth, and to reconstitute within the children of God that divine order that they have lost, that they may now be able to overcome the evil of evildoers on earth. So the children of God must listen. Their faith in God must be well founded. Their trust in the things that we have given unto you to say to them must be well registered within them. Everything that they are given to do will be right by God. Everything that they will be given to do will be right by God. Forget about what man thinks. Forget about what man believes. Forget about what man thinks he is in charge of. There's nobody in charge of anything. There is nobody in charge of anything. God is in charge of all things. God is the giver of all things. Therefore, God is in charge of all things. God says, look, son, let them listen. For all the signs that we have shown to them that they have not yet seen, is the way in which we have said to them, your time to receive has come. The tables are turning in your favor. That the time of evildoers is ended. And in all the ways that God orchestrates the events of man and the events of the world, God orchestrates the demise of every tribe on earth that has brought nothing good into this world. And those who have been responsible for the pains and the sufferings and the burdens that you bear are all those that God promised you that God will take revenge against on your behalf. And God is doing that. God is doing that. Follow what you are told to do. Believe in yourself. That is, believe in the God that is instructing you from within. For the God within you is directed by the God that created that God in you. So to believe in yourself is to believe in the God that believes in its God. God gave you a spirit of might and power. Claim that might and power. Stand firm because God gives you to fight the good fight with your might and your power. And when you can embrace that might and power that is of God, that is of the God that is within you, no man can be victorious against you. And so God says to you, our son, in every way that we give you, that you must go forth and all the many lands of the children of God, to preach and to teach and to show them the way that they will overcome, as the Lord thy God had promised them, that the day will come when they will overcome. Show them the way that they will overcome. For the God of the world sends you in the world to show the children of God the way back to being God's again. Your God sends you to show the children of your mother God and your father God how to become God's again, so that they will know that in all the ways they were told, when God is for you, who can be against you? When God is for you, who can ever be against you? Shilima alabato sikita kontuko dambago arakate sikiro tumbahalo. Ibarakatan sifirap kanogor sikiran nandi ilabarakin the seton or se God, so let them know that when they are going to be invested with the power that is given to them because of the firmness of their belief, your mother God and your father God will place in their mouths the power that they will know they have from the tongues that they will be given to speak. And they will speak with the true tongue of might and power. And they will feel the might and power from their speaking. And they will know that the gift of God in the might and power of the Mother and the Father God have been received by them. That is the gift of Pentecost. It is the return back to them of the divine powers that they had lost, that your mother God and your father God promised, that will be returned unto them. Let them hear the things that we say to you. Let them do the things that we have given from you to them, so that in every way that they will believe, so will they receive.